tight turnaround and you're off to Tassie. I mean, how's everyone? How's the fitness and just general vibe amongst this squad?
Fitness is good. We're still waiting on Connor Payne and Diamante, but other than that, everyone that played the other night has pulled up really well. And the actual atmosphere is good because when you win, it's always good. The confidence is there. The belief in what we're trying to do is there, and we're looking forward to going to Tasmania because it's a home away from home. We've played there in the past. The club has played there in the past. We got 2 home games there coming up, and it's an away game for us, but it feels like it's a little bit of a home game for us in Launceston. So looking forward to it, and the players are looking forward to it as well.
Perth Glory, what have you made of them in terms of previous encounters? Getting a look at them lately as well. They've sort of been a bit up and
yeah, but they're a difficult team to play against. They've got some really good players. They've got some good experience. It's not going to be an easy game. We know that. No game in the A-League's easy, but Fornaroli is one that we definitely have to keep an eye on. We know how good he is, and he's always a player that will pop up and score goals. So and they've got good experience at the back. With Lockman there and also Reddy in goal, so it's going to be a difficult game. But again, we know we're looking forward to it, and we've analysed them the last few games, and we actually bumped into a lot of them in Sydney in Coogee. So I know that it's been difficult for them as a group and as a club because they haven't been able to go home and be with their families for a long period.
John, I wanted to ask you, so obviously coming up towards the end of the season, I'm just reading through your fixtures here, so to come for the rest of the campaign, you've got to travel to Tassie, Ballarat, Sydney, Amy Park, Brisbane, Ballarat, Tasmania, Adelaide, Gosford. We saw last year what the road trip, the extended time on the road did to Western United at the end of the season. At one point it looked like they were going to finish third or even second. They went on a road trip and the bottom fell out of their entire campaign. How do you stop that happening this time in the face of what is an incredible, it's not quite cross country because you don't go to Perth, but it might as well be.
We look forward to all the challenges that's thrown in front of us, and there've been challenges since day one of pre-season, and the players have responded every time there's been put in front of them an obstacle. So we've got no issues with that at all. We actually look forward to the challenge. We adapt really well as a team, and you forgot to mention that we were away in Sydney for a week. Playing Macarthur, then playing Sydney FC, Western Sydney Wanderers, and we got 7 points out of that week. So the boys are different. We're in a different space. We're a different mindset, and we're looking at it as that teams need to come to Tasmania. Tasmania is our home, so it's not an away game for us. It's a home game, and teams need to come to Ballarat. It's not an easy place to get to when you're coming from the Central Coast. So we know that that's difficult for them. So we're happy with. We know that what we've got. Of course, it's easier to play out of one home, but this group will look forward to the challenge, and we won't have any issues.
When you say this group is different, is that togetherness you referenced after the game on the weekend?
Yeah. Rewatching the game and seeing how we performed in that second half, it just goes to show the group how strong they are. I mentioned it after the game that to get out of that situation when you're getting outplayed in the first half and we look a little bit flat, and then to respond like we did in the second half, you can only do that if you're a strong group. And that's why I know that if we, on the road trips and that we've got, that we won't find an issue with it, because that togetherness and that work ethic that the group has got will hold them in good stead.
I was just going to pick up on there, John. What do you need to see from him? Does he just need extra rest potentially, or?
Probably extra rest. He's still got pain from a knock near his knee, so we just have to see how quick that recovers. But he potentially, look, if he can't train today, then he won't be involved on. So we'll train this afternoon. He won't be involved on Sunday. But hopefully it's not too long, because again, he's an important part of our group. And even though he wasn't playing, he was important. You were there on Wednesday night. You know, he was coaching from the bench, just behind the bench. Luckily, I could understand Italian. He was giving the same messages as me, so which is good.
I was going to say, John, do you just need him to play so he's not yelling in your ear?
He's yelling good stuff though, so I'm happy about that. That's if he was yelling negative stuff, then I'd be disappointed. But he was good. He was very good, and he was just as happy as the players that played after the game as well.
Rene seemed to, when he came on, it seemed to work. How far off is, like, are you looking at him potentially starting, or is he still a little way off that?
He's close. He's very close. He's still not at the fitness level that we want him to be at and that he needs to be at, but he just showed his quality, and we know that he's got that quality. That's why I recall speaking to Joey at the beginning of the season saying that we're going to get better, we're going to improve, we're going to, and that's when these players start to find their form. You know, we didn't panic with Alex Prijovic, because we know what he can do and how it takes time for foreigners when they settle in. You know, some of them don't have their families here still. Some of them haven't seen, you know, their kids for a long period. So that, you know, it takes time for them to adapt and to understand what we're all about in Australia. And then we know the quality will eventually come through, and it has. And Rene's the same. So we've got 13 games left, and we're glad that we've got a lot of games, because it gives time for Rene to get to the form that he will get to, and that will help us as well.
Maybe on the other end of the spectrum, John, some of the youngsters in your squad, we saw Aloisi get his first start of the season on the weekends, but you've got some others in there, the likes of Luke Giselle, Dalibor Markovic, Ben Collins, Christian Thearis. I think he's come off the bench a few times with one start. Noah Botic in there as well. Are we going to see some of these youngsters incorporated more into the squad as the season goes on? What do they need to show you on the training track to start to get senior minutes?
That's the biggest thing, Joey, is what they need to show on the training track. They need to show consistency, and when they show consistency and they're willing to improve every day, and they've got good senior pros to learn off of. When they can do that, then they're ready to get minutes, because I'm not afraid to throw in a young player. Disu's very young, no experience, and he started against, you know, one of the best teams that's been around the last 5-6 years. So and that's because the way he's been training. So that's what the players need to. They know that they always need to perform in training, and you can't always perform at a level in terms of technically. You know, you're going to have off days, but they can work every day, and they can be consistent in that. And the young players need to do that, because that's the way that you can trust them when they need to play, and their teammates trust them as well.
Adam, did you have any questions?
John, have you ever been down to Tassie, or is this your first time soccer-wise coming down?
I've got great memories of Tasmania, and I'll tell you why. Not many people know this, but I was 14 playing in the under-15 national championships, and I got leading goal scorer of the national championships for South Australia. And I really actually gained confidence from that national championship. So Tasmania has always been a special place for me because of that, and it was in Launceston, and so I can't wait to get back there. I'm not going to tell you how long ago that was, because I'm trying to work it out now, but it's a long time ago. But it was special for me, and then I look forward to being back there on Sunday.
In terms of coming down, obviously you've had good memories there, but what's been the secret behind your road form? It's always hard to travel in the A-League given the distances and stuff, but what's been the key to you guys performing so well away from your home?
I think the players actually enjoy each other's company. That's the main thing, because when you're on the road, you have to, well, you room with someone, and then also you have to spend a lot of time with them. And if you don't like someone, it can become a pretty boring and pretty hard work. So I think that's a key, and we try and make it that the environment's good and the players can enjoy each other's company, enjoy being away together. So that is key when you go away and you go away for long periods. So that's the main thing. And plus the football we play, it doesn't really change whether we play at home or away from home. So we keep our structures, we keep playing the same way, and that's why the players feel comfortable in that as well.
You've mentioned that Tassie's a real home for you guys. Obviously you're coming back later as well. Is this something you want to build, like a Tasmanian fortress, or would you like to see a Tasmanian A-League presence down here? Like, what's your...
I would like to see a Tasmanian A-League presence, to be honest, because I think that sometimes it gets forgotten about, that there's people that love the game down there, love football, and we don't see enough of that. We see a couple of players come through here and there, Nathaniel Atkinson being one of the last ones. So there is talent there, and hopefully the league grows enough that Tasmania can have a team there. Whether probably the club will be disappointed I'm saying that, because it was sort of can grow down there, but I'd like to see a team in every state, to be honest. That would just help the game in general.
And just a final one as well. You've been around the league a few times with Melbourne City and Brisbane Roar, but is this the best you've ever coached? You seem quite fresh.
I don't know if I'm fresh. I look. There's different environments. There's different clubs run differently. I know this club is as ambitious as what I am, and so that helps, and that's why we're probably on the same path and on the same journey. So look, it's still we've got a lot of work to do. We're not kidding ourselves in terms of we think that we're there. We know there's a lot of work to do on and off the field, and we're willing to work. That's the most important thing. But is it the best I coached? If I won the championship at Brisbane Roar when we should have beat Melbourne Victory in that last game, probably people wouldn't be asking me that question, because we lost it by 1 point. So, have I changed as a coach? I'm always evolving, always trying to improve, and that should be, that will be throughout my career anyway.
John, can I ask you one more just generally on VAR? It's obviously been talked about a lot this week. Are you in the camp that it's farcical, and if so, do you have a solution, or do you sort of feel that's overdone?
I don't have a solution. The rule is that if something is clear and obvious, then they should overturn it, and if it's not, they should let the referee make the decision that's on the field. Look, with those decisions that have been made, I feel for them, because it's hard. It is difficult but it shouldn't take so long. If it's taking that long, then they shouldn't have to change a decision that they've gone with on the field. And I can only talk about from our side that against Sydney FC in Sydney, we felt that we had a penalty, and they went to VAR and they overturned it, but it wasn't clear and obvious, so I don't know why they overturned it. So with that, I think they need to be strong and need to say, these are the rules, this is what we're going with, and let's deal with it. I think VAR can work, and it definitely should be in our game, and but they just need to be clearer, and everyone has to understand why they're doing it. So that's my opinion, but I'm sure everyone's got a different one.
John, can I also just follow up on that? Do you think the current location of where the referees check VAR, he's got one bench in his ear, in one of his ears, he's got another bench in the other ear, they're both giving him vociferous feedback on what they think the proper decision is? Do you think that's conducive to the referee getting it right? Should the actual screen be somewhere else?
That's a really good point. I think it should be somewhere else. I don't know how or where it can be, but it shouldn't be close to the benches. The coaches shouldn't be able to influence, and I say this, and I'm a coach, the referee, because the referee has to be clear in his mind, and if he's got someone in his ear that's saying something 6 times in his ear, it's going to actually affect his decision, because he's going to then go, whether he means to or doesn't, it does affect his decision. So it shouldn't be close to the bench, or if it is close to the bench, the actual fourth official has to be stronger to say, if you are yelling something at the referee, you have to try and make it stop. And if you don't make it stop, then there has to be a yellow card or red card or whatever it is, because at the moment they can influence the referee, and I think that it definitely has. Not that I have, because nothing's gone our way yet.
Of course not, you got.
All good, everyone?
Do it with a little tent, like a medical tent. You can just go inside.
Or they can put earmuffs on, and so they can't hear anyone, and only hear who's in the VAR. That might work. I don't know.
But get smart. Kind of silence. Just put Sam's down.
But it's a good point, Joey. It is a really good point. I've never thought of it, but until I saw and I've seen that the coaches are like yelling at them and influencing a decision. We're all going to try and do it, of course, because we want the decision to go our way, but it can be confusing for a referee.